to Get Real with Asil, a woman empowerment podcast hosted by Asil Al-Baba. Hello and welcome to another episode of Get Real with Asil. Today is Monday, August 6th, 2018. It's actually a long weekend here in Canada, which means Monday is an official holiday and everybody was off. And it was such a great weekend, amazing weather. People were out and about, enjoying the city, enjoying the nature, and it was really, really refreshing to have this vibe around our city. And one of the amazing things that took place this weekend actually is the first festival of its kind for the Middle East called The Taste of Middle East, which is a really amazing festival that brought different vendors to display different types of food in that region and celebrate the culture. The vision of that specific festival was to create connections through food. The mission was simply to display the warmth and generosity that are the bedrock of the Middle Eastern culture. Food is really the foundation of our hospitality. Our mission is to create unique and unforgettable experience and to share Middle Eastern cuisine and culture with Toronto through events and experiential marketing. So essentially, when I was first approached with this vision and mission by the founder of the event, Hamza Diab, she actually sold me on the idea that there's absolutely nothing like this in Toronto. And it's really sad because we always go to different food festivals, the Taste of Danforth, Taste of Italy, Taste of India, Taste of different parts of the world, and yet we have failed as Middle Easterns to come together and do a festival that represents the diversity that exists in our culture in itself. And Hamza is an extraordinary woman who had an aha moment one day and decided to transfer these thoughts into actions, to actually do something about that. There was a problem, and she was a woman who not only had the solution, but the abilities and the desire and the persistence of a resilient leader to put these thoughts into actions. And it took place this weekend. And I was incredibly honored to have taken a share in that specific event. So let me introduce you to who Hamza is. And you can find this information, by the way, on the tasteofmiddleeast.ca. It's a website that includes everything you need to know about this festival and the visionaries behind it. So I'm only going to highlight Hamza because she is really the founder and the magic maker behind this event. And there's a lot of team support around her as well. Loving, amazing hands that took place to make this event a success, and shout out to all of them as well. However, just for the respect of time, I won't go through their names or biography because there's a lot of them. But in my heart, it was just an honor to have shared this platform with them, and I do send them my absolute biggest thoughts and warm wishes. So Hamza is the founder and the event producer of the Taste of Middle East. She is the event and marketing manager at Consider It Done Events and Marketing. She holds a business marketing diploma from Seneca, and she's efficient and creative professional that has a can-do attitude, focus on the coordination and execution of successful events and marketing projects. And from a person who knows her personally, these words cannot be more accurate about her, because she truly is a person with a can-do attitude. And I'm always inspired by women like this in our community who absolutely want to make a change, and want to make a change with things that through their passion and their personality. So Hamza, you just absolutely were that person for us in that event. Now, just to reflect on that event, it was very successful. There was lots of vendors, and everybody who came had a chance to experience the Middle East from a different perspective. The taglines for the event were 1001 flavors. So we were trying to just showcase the different aspects of this culture. And the reason this event meant a lot to me, to be honest, is because I recognize how really stereotypical the judgments about the Middle East can be. People have this perceived judgment, whether it's positive judgment or negative or even neutral. Sometimes judgments are just wrong, and that's dangerous in a society where we have to be more aware of the truth, especially with all these accessible venues available for us. We have media like never before. We have connections around the world like never before. So the thought of having misjudgments continue being part of our conversation, along with stereotypes and along with racism, is simply unacceptable. There's no excuse for us today to not know more about each other as humans and not to actually celebrate, appreciate, incorporate, and absolutely tolerate each other's differences and celebrate it nevertheless. So it's one thing to be diverse and it's another to be inclusive. Diverse is really just saying, I'm different than you, but you can just stay on your side, I'll stay on mine, and we can live happily ever after like that. That's, better than not being diverse, but still not fully there. Fully there is integration. When you have your side, I have my side, but we're willing to share, we open each other's arms, and we're ready to take on, actual steps to get us closer to one another, to understand each other better, to fully appreciate who you are as a human being, regardless how different you can possibly be than me. So I absolutely love events that showcase exactly that. In the very heart of Toronto, which is Dundas Square, a very hard spot to book on a weekend. Hamza did all that. She did that festival, put it together, and I am very, very, very proud of her. So what I personally saw just walking around, and I was the manager of media and PR, so even prior to the event, my responsibility was simply to share the event with different media outlets, create and generate the buzz and spread the word. So I was getting different type of requests to explain what this cultural event is all about, and it is uncommon for a Middle Eastern culture to be diverse in its nature. Usually it's skewed towards one religion or one segment. This is different because it includes all. So one of the things that stood out to people is the fact that there were vendors that were selling halal food, and there was a vendor that had alcohol, for example. And normally these two things are looked at as opposing one another. Really, it's a vendor that supports Islam, because that's what halal is derived from, and a vendor that obviously serves alcohol, which is somebody who is not a believer of Islam. And to be beside one another respectfully, people can then decide which vendor they want to go to. And this is ultimately what makes the Middle East a region filled with diversity of thought and diversity of belongings. And it's stereotypical in the media that, Middle Easterns are associated with the religion of Islam, when in reality that's not the full case. We do have diversity in our religion, but also diversity in the freedom of choice, where people choose, even if they're born into religion, not to necessarily practice it if they don't agree with it. That's why we belong and are proud to be in Canada, a place that actually embraces these human rights and freedom of choice. So I really just wanted to dedicate this episode to celebrate this message, to remind you of its importance, to remind you how it is your responsibility to make sure you understand and educate yourself to the best of your abilities in order for you to connect with other humans around the world and understand better cultures. So whether you need to go to different food festivals around the city, go to different art shows, watch different documentaries, go to different cultural events, that's how you educate yourself. But also surround yourself with people from different cultures. Listen to the way they speak, listen to the way they think, listen to the way they live their lives, and just by observations, you can recognize how ultimately, fundamentally, we are all the same. This is the beauty of it all. As different as we think we are because of our skin color or religion or, features, ultimately and fundamentally, we are very much the same. We need the same things. We're fearful of the same things. We are appreciative of the same things. And that just makes our human experience collectively one in the same. So with that, I do want to leave you with beautiful wishes for the new week ahead. I hope that you have a fabulous time. Please reach out to me for feedback, as I always love to hear it. And I look forward to future episodes where we can learn, grow, and most importantly, get real together. Take cake. Take cake. See, my mind is still on food. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome day.